Two Washington state men were arrested this week for a scheme in which they duped collectors into shelling out hundreds of thousands of dollars for sports and Pokémon trading cards that turned out to be phonies. Anthony Curcio, 43, and Iosif Bondarchuk, 37, allegedly made the regular cards seem like valuable rarities by fudging their grades, pocketing $2 million over the course of the two-year con, Manhattan federal prosecutors said. PSA, a reputable card authentication company, charges a fee to card collectors to have their card graded on a scale from 1 to 10, and if cards receive higher grades, they are typically deemed more valuable and rare. But the pair found a loophole by disguising regular cards that had not been authenticated as graded ones, fooling collectors into purchasing them at false and inflated prices, according to the indictment. One of the most notable alleged scams was the sale of a 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie card, which had a purported PSA grade of 10, or gem mint, that sold at a Manhattan marketplace for $171,700, but the grading card company had not graded the particular card, the Fed said. Jordan's gem mint rookie typically sells between $185,000 and $203,000, though one with a grade of 8 has a value of just between $6,000 and $7,000, according to court papers. The duo placed the card in a plastic case with a fake label that made it seem like it had been graded at 10, complete with a bogus barcode and certification number, prosecutors alleged. Other cards, like the 1999 Pokémon Venusaur First Edition holographic cards, were also falsely labeled and sold for $10,500 by Bondarchuk to an undercover law enforcement purchaser in Manhattan July 2023, the court papers claim. Curcio and Bondarchuk allegedly sold fake cards at card shops, auctions, card shows and online, and even when they were caught by buyers, they would send them their money back only to resell the same phony cards to other victims, the Fed said. The pair sold fake cards from several high-profile athletes like Tom Brady, Nolan Ryan, Larry Bird, Julius Erving, and Magic Johnson, in addition to several pricey Pokémon cards, in the scheme that ran from 2022 through May 2024, prosecutors charged. As alleged, Anthony Curcio and Iosif Bondarchuk carried out a brazen, nationwide fraud scheme involving valuable sports and Pokémon trading cards to deceive buyers and marketplaces, ultimately amassing over $2 million in fraudulent and attempted sales, Manhattan U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said in a statement. In July 2023, an undercover officer purchased the misrepresented Venusaur card for $10,500. As alleged, Anthony Curcio and Iosif Bondarchuk carried out a brazen, nationwide fraud scheme involving valuable sports and Pokémon trading cards to deceive buyers and marketplaces, ultimately amassing over $2 million in fraudulent and attempted sales, said Damian Williams, United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Thanks to our law enforcement partners, the dedicated prosecutors of this office, and the many victims who came forward, this alleged fraud has had its last dance. Our message today is clear: no matter what product you're selling, if you try to deceive the public to make money, you will be brought to justice. A brand protection team with PSA, a third-party authentication and grading company, had been working with the FBI in building a case against Curcio, as many of the cards had been sold in fake PSA holders. The company said anyone who purchased a PSA-graded item and would like to confirm the authenticity can visit their customer request center and complete a brand protection request. Curcio and Bondarchuk were both charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 1 count of wire fraud. The pair each face a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison if convicted. The Department of Justice confirmed with Fox 13 that in 2008, Curcio pepper-sprayed an armored car guard outside a bank, then escaped down a creek on an inner tube with $400,000. He was arrested and spent the next 5 years in prison. Fox 13 spoke with Curcio in 2014. At the time, he was speaking to schools whenever he can about the drug use that contributed to his criminal life. I lost 5 years in prison, physically removed from everything that I loved. You can never get that time back, he said. Fox 13 Seattle spoke to Don Joss, the owner of DJ Sports Cards in Renton. Joss tells us his business got hit in the scam, costing his business thousands of dollars. Joss said he helped the investigators with the case. We had ID. We had video. We had all kinds of proof that he walked in and made that transaction. We had his phone number from when he called. We had all kinds of information, and we had the physical evidence that we sent to the FBI, he said. Thanks to our law enforcement partners, the dedicated prosecutors of this office, and the many victims who came forward, this alleged fraud has had its last dance. Our message today is clear: no matter what product you're selling, if you try to deceive the public to make money, you will be brought to justice. Curcio and Bondarchuk were each charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 1 count of wire fraud and were expected to face a judge in Washington sometime Thursday. If convicted, they each face a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. If you like this video, please like, comment and share. Also don't forget to subscribe to the channel.